In the heart of the Syrian desert, nestled among endless sands, rose a city of unparalleled splendor, Palmyra, the city of palms. And from this jewel of the ancient world emerged a woman of legendary ambition and power, a warrior queen who dared to challenge the mightiest empire on earth. This is the story of Zenobia. Our tale begins not with conquest, but with a marriage. Round the year 258, a young, intelligent, and fiercely ambitious woman named Zenobia married Odaenathus, the ruler of Palmyra. This wasn't just a political union. It was the first step on Zenobia's path to power. Palmyra, at this time, was a wealthy city-state, a crucial hub on the Silk Route, precariously balanced between the Roman Empire to the west and the Sasanian Persian Empire to the east. It was a world of shifting allegiances and constant danger. By 262, Odaenathus, with Zenobia's counsel and influence growing by his side, had transformed Palmyra from a mere client state of Rome into a major regional power. He achieved stunning military victories against the Sasanians, even sacking their capital, Siphon. For his loyalty and strength, Rome bestowed upon him the title Rector of the Whole East. Palmyra was on the rise, and Zenobia was at the very center of its ascent. She wasn't just a queen consort. Ancient sources say she was a skilled hunter, a brilliant intellectual who spoke multiple languages, and a politician who commanded the respect of her court. But in 267, tragedy struck. Odaenathus and his eldest son were assassinated, under circumstances that remain murky to this day. Was it a family squabble? A Roman plot? A Palmyrene conspiracy? We may never know for certain, but in the chaos that followed, one figure emerged with absolute clarity and resolve. Zenobia. She swiftly secured the throne, not for herself, but as regent for a young son, Odaenathus. In reality, everyone knew who was in charge. The queen regent was now the undisputed ruler of Palmyra. Zenobia didn't just intend to maintain her late husband's legacy, she planned to surpass it. She saw a Roman Empire weakened by internal strife, a period historians call the crisis of the 3rd century. Emperors rose and fell in rapid succession, and the empire's borders were under constant threat. For Zenobia, this was not a crisis. It was an opportunity. She began to dream of an empire of her own, an Eastern empire with Palmyra at its center. Her first major move was audacious. In 269, while Rome was distracted with Gothic invasions in the Balkans, Zenobia sent her general, Zeptus, south. Their target, the breadbasket of the Roman Empire, the wealthy and strategic province of Egypt. The Palmyrene army swept through with astonishing speed. They crushed the Roman defenders, seized control of Alexandria. With this single, brilliant campaign, Zenobia had severed one of Rome's most vital lifelines and dramatically expanded her domain. Her empire now stretched from the Nile to the Euphrates. At first, Zenobia maintained the pretense of loyalty to Rome. Coins were minted showing her son Odaenathus on one side and the Roman emperor on the other, suggesting a co-rulership. But this was a carefully crafted diplomatic fiction. By 270, Zenobia was ready to drop the mask. She declared Palmyra's complete independence. New coins were struck, and on them, Zenobia took the title Augusta, Empress, and her son was named Augustus, Emperor. This was not a rebellion. It was a declaration of imperial equality. She was no longer a client queen. She was a rival empress, and she had just drawn a line in the sand. Back in Rome, a new emperor had taken the throne. He was not one of the weak, short-lived rulers Zenobia had exploited. This was Lucius Domitius Aurelianus, known to history as Aurelian. A tough, career soldier, Aurelian was on a mission to restore the world, to reunite the fractured Roman Empire. He had already defeated invaders in the west and crushed a breakaway Gallic Empire. Now, he turned his gaze east toward the upstart queen in Palmyra. In 272, Aurelian launched his campaign. He was relentless. His legions marched through Asia Minor, now part of Zenobia's empire, reclaiming city after city. Some surrendered peacefully, swayed by Aurelian's promises of clemency. Others resisted and were taken by force. The two armies finally met in a major battle near Antioch. Zenobia's forces, particularly her famed heavy cavalry, fought bravely, but Aurelian's superior tactics won the day. A second defeat at Emesa shattered the Palmyrene field army. Zenobia was forced to retreat to her capital, the magnificent, heavily fortified city of Palmyra. She believed its thick walls could withstand any siege, giving her time to rally allies, perhaps even the Persians. But Aurelian was determined. His army surrounded the city, cutting off all supplies. As the siege dragged on, conditions inside Palmyra grew desperate. Realizing her position was hopeless, Zenobia made a final, desperate gamble. Under the cover of darkness, she slipped out of the city on a swift camel, racing towards the Persian frontier to plead for aid. But Roman scouts were everywhere. She was spotted, pursued, and captured just as she was about to cross the Euphrates River. The warrior queen was now a Roman prisoner. When she was brought before Aurelian, he reportedly asked her how she, a woman, dared to challenge the emperors of Rome. Her reply was legendary. "I recognize you as an emperor, for you know how to win. The others who came before you, I did not consider them emperors." With their queen captured, Palmyra surrendered. Zenobia's glorious Eastern Empire, which had burned so brightly, was extinguished in just a few short years. What happened to her next is a matter of historical debate. Some accounts say she died of illness or started on a journey to Rome. But the most popular version, and the one that has captured the imagination for centuries, is that she was brought to Rome and paraded through the streets in Aurelian's triumphal procession, bound in golden chains. Afterwards, she was said to have been given a villa in Tivoli, where she lived out the rest of her days in comfortable exile, her children marrying into the Roman nobility. The story of Zenobia is more than just a tale of ambition and defeat. It is the story of a brilliant woman who rose from the sands of the desert to build an empire and challenge the most powerful force in her world. She was a scholar, a politician, a general, and a queen who ruled in her own right. Though her empire was short-lived, her legacy as the warrior queen of Palmyra has endured for nearly 2,000 years, a timeless symbol of defiance and strength. Her audacity continues to inspire, reminding us that even in the face of overwhelming power, the will to forge one's own destiny can change the course of history. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey back in time. If you were captivated by the story of Zenobia, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into history. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Who is another historical figure you'd like us to cover? Let us know. Until next time, stay curious.